Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia and I like to share my life and travels with you. Well, today I'm going to prepare for a dinner party and I'm going to go through the whole routine, everything I do, and then show you a little bit of the dinner party too. Sound interesting? Stay tuned. So the dinner party's tomorrow night, but I'm getting started today. I like to get as much done in advance as I can. So let me tell you what the menu is. We're starting with a salad with grapefruit and avocado with slivered almonds on top. I know that sounds different, but it's really good. It's something my mom used to make. Then for the main course, I'm making lamb shanks with delicious garlic mashed potatoes and carrots. And for dessert, I'm making a lemon posset. Probably never heard of that either, but it's a simple dessert, and I'll show you how I make it. But first of all, I'm going to get started with the lamb shanks, because they have to cook for about 3 hours, and then I'll refrigerate them overnight, and then heat them back up at the dinner party. And they'll be so delicious, and the meat will just be falling off the bones. I've made this before, so I know. So here are my lamb shanks. Aren't they beautiful? They're from New Zealand, like Jill. So first I'm just going to salt and pepper them. I've already washed and dried them, which is an important step, I think. So we just put salt and pepper on them pretty generously, I think. And you see I have several different sizes because I have, 3 men coming and 2 women. So, well, I'll see who wants a big one. How about that? I'm not going to say the little ones are for the women. I'll probably take a little one. Okay, turn these over and salt the other side. Now I'm going to sear them in the wok. Now I'm using a wok because I have so many lamb shanks and it's just too big for my regular pot. So I'm going to cook it in the wok. I hope that works out. But here I'm going to sear them up first. I'll use my tongs for this. Now, I haven't used the wok for this before, so let me see how it goes. I've got a big one and a little one to start with. Maybe 3. So I preheated the wok, obviously. But you want to get a nice brown color on them. It's going to make it really tasty. And I'm using a smaller burner because, the base of the wok is small. I hope this is going to simmer well because it has to simmer for like 3 hours like I told you. While those are cooking, I'm going to cut up some onion. And it takes just 2, well, it says 2 onions. But I'm going to just use 1.5. For one reason, that's all I have, but you'll see. Because I made this a while ago, a couple weeks ago, and then I had a bunch of the liquid that I cooked it in left over. I put that in the freezer, and I just thawed it out last night. I have this cool thing, I'll show it to you a little closer, but it's a little trash can that hangs off the counter, and it's so easy to just slide your stuff right into it. And I got that on Lazada, and I think it was like 20 ringgit. Let me check on these. Those are browning up nicely. So I'll just cut up the onion. It just needs to be a rough chop. I'll cook the onions and the garlic after I get done searing the lamb shanks. Get the garlic ready to chop. So it calls for 4 cloves of garlic. And if you just smash the garlic like that, then the skin comes right off. It's really easy. But I'm going to put the garlic in after the onions because it just takes a second. Okay, I'm going to put that on the side for now. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up frying up these lamb shanks and then I'll get back to you for the next step. Hold on. So here are the lamb shanks after I browned them. So I'm all ready to cook the onions and the garlic now. So let's move the camera over here. we'll start with the onions. This is pretty hot, so I think I might turn it down a bit. Those are going to cook up just fine. So today I'm just making the lamb shanks. What else can I do in advance? I don't think that's all. I think that's all I can do today. So tomorrow's going to be busy. I'll have to do the mashed potatoes closer to the time that people come over. And I can do the salad in advance and marinate the avocado and grapefruit in my mother's delicious vinaigrette. But there's another thing I can do today, and that's set the table. And I will show you how I do that too. I hope you'll think it's pretty. I think I'll put some rosemary in. Now, fresh would be better, but all I have is this dried rosemary, but that's good. Gives it a nice flavor. This cumin seed, I'll try that too. Oh, that smells delicious. Little cumin seed. And I've always heard that if you put the herbs in with the oil, it sort of opens up the flavors. So now I'm going to add the garlic. And as you probably know, you just have to cook garlic for very briefly, like a minute. Oh gosh, I've locked Earl Grey out in the air conditioning closet. Let me go let him in. I'm coming. Oh, I'm so sorry, Earl Grey. He's very upset. Well, it's the only way I can get him to come back in is to turn on the aircon, and then it starts blowing on him, and he doesn't like that. So anyway, back to this. Yes, Earl Grey, I'm sorry. Don't be too mad at Daddy. Do you want to be on camera, Earl Grey? Come over here. Yeah, see, he's rubbing against me. He still loves me. Back to the cooking. So I think that's plenty of time for the garlic, actually. Now I'm going to put in some tomato paste. Now I found this tomato paste in a tube, which I really like, because I don't know about you, but I never use the whole can of tomato paste. And then you just sort of waste it. I guess you could put it in a bag and freeze it. This calls for 2 tablespoons. And then you just can keep this in the fridge and be ready anytime. So you just cook that in with the onions and garlic. Oh, it's starting to smell good already. Well, cooking onions and garlic always smells delicious. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of beef broth. And I just use bouillon. I think it's fine. See, that's clearly not enough liquid because it's supposed to cover these. I'm going to put in a cup of wine. So a cup of wine. That'll give it a nice flavor. And this is just an inexpensive Shiraz from South Africa. Not South Africa, South Australia. South Africa has good wines too. Now this is the recipe for just a couple. So, this is the sauce I have left over from my last time I made lamb shanks that I had in the freezer. So I'm going to add that. Ooh, it still has some frozen part to it. That's not good. It's been in the refrigerator all night. Oh, it's mostly thawed. There. Okay, that gives me a lot. But I'm going to have to bring that up to a boil before I put the meat back in. And if that's not enough, I'll just top it up with some more bouillon or beef broth. So I'm just going to put the lid on that and let that come to a boil, and then we'll get back to it. How about that? While I'm waiting for that broth to come to a boil, I thought I'd play with Earl Grey a little bit. I get a lot of requests to have more Earl Grey in my videos. So let's see if he's up for playing right now. I replaced some shoelaces last night on some shoes. These are nasty, but you know, it's funny. Cats will just play with anything. You don't have to buy expensive toys for them. In fact, I think he likes this kind of toy much better, actually. So, Earl Grey, you want to get it? You want to get it? All right. Go get it. Get it, Earl Grey. Oh, he touches it and he runs away. He does that all the time. Come back and get your string, honey. He's in there scratching on a scratching post. Much better than scratching on the new dining room chairs. Oh, that's another thing. Since he's not cooperating. Oh, he's gonna come back. He's coming back. Get it, Earl Grey, get it. Get that string. Get that string. Oh, now you're ignoring it. Okay. Typical cat, he's not gonna cooperate. As long as I'd mentioned the new dining chairs, I might as well show them to you. You know, I only had 4 chairs before, so I couldn't really have a lot of people over. Not that I do, but I'm gonna try to entertain more, I honestly am. So I'm having 4 people over tomorrow night. Walter and his lovely family. His wife, his daughter, and his son, who I haven't met yet. But I did meet the wife and daughter. But anyway, Earl Grey had torn up the old chairs. They were just disgusting, just shredded. So I bought these new chairs. They were very inexpensive, and it's velvet, which is a fabric that cats aren't really interested in. So I hear. We'll see how that goes. So far he hasn't bothered them, but he does like his new cat scratching post. So there they are. What do you think? You know, they're not the greatest, but I think they're fairly attractive. And they're smaller than my old chairs, so it's easy to get 5 people around. I think it would be pretty tight with 6 though. But 5 is about all I want to have over anyway. So let me go check and see how the broth is doing now. Well, it's boiling madly, just what I want. So I will put these in, and you know, when I put the meat in, it's gonna stop boiling, I'm sure, but we'll see. I hope all of these are gonna fit. Oops. I need to get some new tongs. This one is bent and it's just almost worthless. And these are big and heavy. Okay. Pour that little bit of juice on there. So see, it's slowed down to a simmer, which is what I want. Oh good, it covers all of them. That's fabulous. So now this is just gonna simmer for 3 hours. And I'll check on it, you know, every now and then and adjust the temperature. It's not very exciting to watch, so I'm not gonna make you watch all 3 hours of it boiling. Well, now I'm gonna set the table. Now, I don't do anything fancy. I just use placemats and everything. Tablecloths seem out of place in this tropical climate, don't you think? But anyway, I'll show you how I do it and see what you think. I'll be interested to know if you think it's pretty or not. We'll start with the placemats. And because this table really isn't big enough for 5 people, they're gonna have to overlap a little bit. Okay, that works out pretty good. Now, what's next? I think I'll put the wine glasses out. I actually bought some new wine glasses just for this occasion, because I didn't have 5 red wine glasses. Like I said, I hardly ever entertain for more than just 1 or 2 other people. But I got these wine glasses at a little place upstairs from Hoc Chun. And they're pretty nice, I think. They weren't very cheap either. They were like 38 ringgit each. Now let's do the silverware. And salad fork and dinner fork. Since the meat's gonna be falling off the bones, it's not gonna need a sharp knife. Probably won't need a knife at all, actually. I like to set the table a day in advance because it's just something you can do ahead of time and not feel like you're in a rush at the last minute to set the table. And I put the dessert spoons up there. I have some nice stainless flatware. It's Mikasa. I actually brought it from the US because it was such good quality and I paid a lot of money for it. It's nice and heavy. Plus it was easy to just put in my suitcase. Okay, now the napkins. You can tell I like black. It's coming along, but it's not finished yet. I think that this centerpiece is too tall. You won't be able to see through it to see the people across the table. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out something else to put there. Let's see what I do. First of all, I'll move this. And I was thinking this plant. would not be too tall. And I have a smaller one too, let me get it. So this one, oh, it's a little different color, that's nice. Okay, I can't use regular candles because the ceiling fans would blow them out. So I have these electric candles I keep over here by the entry. I'll go ahead and turn them on so you can get the full effect. I don't know, what do you think? I think that looks pretty nice. Simple, modern. I think I'm happy with that. So what do you think? How does it look? Would you come to dinner here? I bet you would. So that's all I got to do today. I might peel the carrots, but that's no big deal. So I'll sign off now, and I'll come back tomorrow and show you the rest of the preparations. How about that? Well, I actually thought of 2 more things I can do today. My goodness, where was my brain? So I'm gonna go ahead and peel and cook the carrots the last half hour or so that the lamb shanks are cooking. And then I might take them out because, you don't want your carrots really mushy. But we'll see how they are, and then I'll add them back in tomorrow when I reheat it. So I got 6 large carrots, and wow, carrots are very reasonably priced here. I don't know if they're local or not. Let me look on the bag. No, they're imported, so I guess that they don't grow carrots in Malaysia. I don't know, maybe it's not the right climate. Anyway, this is another area where my little handy dandy trash thing here just comes in, so it's just perfect for something like this, to peel carrots, because you just stand right over it and just peel the carrots right into the trash can. Isn't that great? I know every one of my viewers is probably going to buy one of these now, and you should. I mean, they're really cheap, they're well made, they work forever. I mean, I've had this forever. So now I'm just going to cut the carrots into fairly hefty pieces. So I think that's nice. And then I'll just add them to the stock where the lamb shanks are cooking. Let's see how the lamb shanks are doing. Oh my gosh, that smells so delicious. Now I'm just going to add the carrots. Okay, just want to make sure they get all down in there. Gosh, I'm so glad I used this wok. It's the perfect size for all this. My goodness. My regular Dutch oven, or whatever you call those big pans, it would not have sufficed. One thing that's nice about this meal is it's like totally stovetop, which is important in Malaysia because, as you all know probably, there's not that many ovens in Malaysia. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit again to bring it back up to a boil. And then I'm going to cook it about half an hour. While I'm waiting for the carrots to cook, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my lemon posset. Now, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. It's a British dish. If anybody knows, please let me know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is it posset? I don't know. The recipe does not call for lemon zest, but I think it's really nice to have the lemon zest in it. You want to zest your lemons before you squeeze them. I don't know, the lemon zest just gives it such a lemony flavor. It's just amazing. And it's sort of nice to have something lemony after a heavy meal of lamb shanks. That's what I think. This is an example of Taylor multitasking, doing this while I'm waiting for the carrots to cook. You know, I'm not that great in the kitchen, but I think I'm not bad either. That's good enough. Ooh, that's a nice amount of zest. I'll just put that in this little cup here. I don't know if that's too much zest. Maybe I don't need that much. Maybe I'll save this to like sprinkle on the top when it's finished. Okay, now I just want to juice these lemons. I find these little lemon juicers super easy to use. Gosh, this doesn't seem to have any seeds in it. That's nice. This dessert couldn't be simpler. But like I said, it's full of calories and fat, but Hey, you only live once, right? Okay, so that's ready to go. I'll just add this later. You'll see. Oh, so I'm getting a lot of things I need to wash now. I'm not gonna make you watch me wash the dishes though. Gosh, it's one of my least favorite things, but I think that's true for everybody, right? Okay, I'm gonna get started on the lemon posset. I'm using this whole thing of whipping cream. You can imagine how much calories and fat are in that. But it makes an amazingly light dessert because it has lemon flavor. And lemon always tastes fresh and, not heavy. So that's a liter of heavy cream, and it calls for about a cup of sugar. I'm just gonna go ahead and use all the sugar that I have. Because why not? So I'll just stir that in. Now, I'm gonna have to heat this up and boil it later. It can come to room temperature now while I'm waiting for the lamb shanks to finish. Unfortunately, I only have 2 burners. And with the wok on there, I can't put anything on the other burner. Now, it's the weirdest thing too, because my other apartment, which was not nearly as nice as this, had 4 burners. And I really liked that a lot better, I can tell you that. So I'm gonna have to wait till the lamb shanks are done before I can boil the heavy cream. Well, I've just got the best news from Walter, my guest who's coming tomorrow night, and he said they're planning to bring an authentic Italian risotto with them. So guess what that means? That means I don't have to make my garlic mashed potatoes. Now, don't get me wrong, my garlic mashed potatoes are delicious, but I'm working pretty hard on this meal, so I think that's wonderful that I don't have to worry about the starch. And it's gonna pair wonderfully with the lamb shanks, don't you think? Well, you'll see tomorrow. So I'm getting the lemon posset started, and I've mixed 1 liter of heavy cream with about a cup of sugar, and you have to bring that to a boil. And then let it boil for a couple minutes. I'm gonna have to go look at my recipe and see what it says. And then add the lemon juice and then put it in little cups. Super simple. I'm sure they're gonna love it. It's one of my favorite desserts. Well, Walter called me in the middle of preparing this. I hope it still turns out okay, because I took my attention away for a few minutes. But really, you just boil it for 3 minutes, and then you take it off the heat and let it sit until it cools down. I don't know how much, but just so you don't want it super hot before you add the lemon juice to it and the lemon zest, which, I added. It's not required for the recipe, but I hope it turns out. We'll see. If not, I'll have to go buy some ice cream. How about that? Okay, the cream mixture has cooled down now, so I'm gonna add the lemon juice and the lemon zest, and then I'll put it in the cups that I'm gonna serve it in, cover those with plastic wrap, and then I'll put it in the fridge and it'll be all ready for tomorrow night. It's already thickened up pretty well. Oh, I hope it's gonna get thick in the fridge. Well, I always wonder about this. I guess it's sort of like making pudding. But here, I'll put the lemon in. Oh my gosh, is that gonna be too much? Not enough? I always worry, because I doubled the recipe and, I guess I did it all right. Oh wow, it seems like the lemon is actually making it go thicker too. Okay, now I'm gonna put it in the glasses. I'll just use my little cup that I had the lemon juice in. Let's see. That's like half a cup. We'll just start with that, huh? Oh, that seems like a lot. Gosh, I don't think I need to make this much. I put some water in these glasses and then measured it, and I thought I needed this much, but maybe not. Oh, let's see. Well, it seems to be using quite a bit of it. And I also seem to be making a mess all over the counter. But that's okay. That'll be simple to wipe up. Maybe I'll have enough left over to make a little extra for me to have tonight. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I've left enough room for the berries that I'm gonna put in tomorrow when I serve it. And obviously I'm gonna have to wipe off these glasses because I've just made a complete mess. Oh my God. You know, cooking with Taylor is always an adventure. Okay, well, I'm all finished for my preparations tonight. My goodness, that was more than I expected. But I have very little to do tomorrow. I just have to get the salad together, I think. Well, maybe I'll think of something else I need to do tomorrow. Well, I do need to straighten up some, maybe mop the floor. But other than that, I'm all ready. And ready for my company. It'll be so much fun. Hi, well, it's Saturday afternoon, and I have a few more preparations to do to get ready for my dinner party. I'm just gonna prepare the stuff I need for my grapefruit and avocado salad. And I'll show you how I do that, but I'm not gonna dwell on it because it's pretty boring. But I went out to buy a few last-minute things at the grocery store and had a delicious brunch at the Daily Grind, which is right by the grocery store. I had Eggs Benedict, which you can see here, and it was yummy. So let me get started on my salad prep. I think it's the last thing I have to do other than straighten up, do a little vacuuming, dust mop, that sort of thing. Otherwise, I'm all ready to go. So I have my grapefruit here. I don't know where they're from, but I don't think they're from Malaysia. So I'm gonna peel those and section them. Oh, it's pink grapefruit. Great, that's what I like. I can never tell by the sign in the store, so it's sort of like a surprise when you cut it open. But here, I'll just take this skin off, which is not something I really enjoy doing, but gotta be done. Well, I realized pretty quickly that I need to sharpen my knife, so I'm gonna do that now. I got this little knife sharpener in the US, and it's just really easy. Oh, that's better. Now I'm gonna cut up the avocado. I hope it's ripe. You know, I buy it about 2 days in advance because they're always so hard in the grocery store. And they're super expensive here. Oh, it looks lovely. And then I put them in the salad dressing to keep them from turning brown. And when I slice the grapefruit, I'm gonna put that on top, and that citric acid will also stop any browning of the avocados. Now I'll just section the grapefruit, and I'll do that right over the avocado so that that grapefruit juice will drip down in there and, you know, stop the browning process. Okay, so I have all the grapefruit sliced and put on top of the avocados, and I'll just close this up and put it in the fridge. But first I'm gonna turn it over a couple of times to hopefully distribute some of that grapefruit juice down into the avocados in the bottom. So I'm pretty good to go, I think. I can't think of anything else I can do in advance. I'll assemble the salad later. And shortly before they come, I'll put the lamb shanks back on the stove to warm up again. You can't overcook those. So anyway, I've got some other chores to do. Maybe I'll take you along for that, but it's pretty boring watching someone vacuum. See you later. Okay, well, I'm ready to do the final salad assembly, and then I'll put plastic wrap on them and put them in the fridge, and then all I'll have to do is put the toasted almonds on top before I serve them. So that'll be really easy, so watch me do that. I just used this triple washed salad greens for the base, and I think those are nice enough. Gosh, I didn't think this was going to be enough, but it's going to be more than enough. I'll even have some left over for some salad tomorrow. Because I don't think there's going to be much food left over, that's for sure. And then I'm just going to alternate a slice of grapefruit and a slice of avocado and go around like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have enough for 6. Just a few more slices of avocado. Maybe one more on each one. Just put a little plastic wrap on each one. And I have plenty of room in the fridge for these, so that's great. Okay, so I'm now going to give them a tour of the apartment before they arrive. You know, the beauty of doing everything in advance means your kitchen can be beautiful and clean when your guests arrive. Isn't that great? Table's all set, the candle's lit. The living room looks good. I like people to arrive after dark, but it's going to be still light when they get here. And Mr. Earl Grey there, he's ready to receive. You ready for your company, Earl Grey? Yes, he is. This room always stays pretty nice because I don't use it that much. But I do love it. And then the walk-in wardrobe. And then we'll head into the bedroom. Where everything looks good in here too. So I'm all ready for them to arrive. And I'll take as much photos as I can while they're here. As I said, they don't really want to be filmed talking though. So it's just going to have to be something I play with some music. But that's okay. So I'm going to relax for a few minutes. I have like a half hour till they get here. I hope you enjoyed watching me get ready for this dinner party. Hi everyone, well it's the next day, and I had a wonderful time at the party. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. I'm sorry I didn't film more at the actual party, but we were just busy having fun. So as a treat to me, they left some risotto for me, and I'm gonna have that for my lunch right now. I also, if you remember, had a little bit of leftover salad. So I added some mozzarella to it and some red onions, and it's gonna be yummy. Here, let me show it to you. The risotto looks delicious and creamy still. And look how beautiful my salad is. So I'm gonna have my lunch, and then I'm gonna finish up. Well, I finished my lunch and I am stuffed now. Wow, that risotto was amazing. Thank you again, Walter. So I want to thank you again for joining me for dinner at Taylor's. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe, and check the notification bell too. That way you won't miss any of my future content. Also, as I mention every week, I have Buy Me a Coffee, and that's vitally important to help support my channel. I get about 50% of my money from Buy Me a Coffee, if you could believe that. But that's because YouTube doesn't pay very much at all. So if you want to support Taylor, buy me a coffee, or 2 or 3. That's all I have for today. I hope it wasn't too long. I mean, I'm going to try to cut it down a little bit, but I don't know. I want you to be able to make all the recipes I make without any trouble. So that's why I went into such great detail. But thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. But that's all for now. Talk to you later. Bye.
Get